All right, let's talk about the future of managing a hotel. Today, we're diving into something that's truly changing the game: granular forecasting. Now, this isn't just another buzzword. We're talking about one of the most powerful ways AI is revolutionizing modern hospitality. It's not just about predicting numbers, it's about gaining the kind of precision you need to truly master complex operations and, drive some really exceptional performance. This is how we move beyond guesswork and create a real strategic advantage.
Hello, everyone. I'm an AI expert with years of experience working right at the heart of modern hotel operations and performance. It's a real pleasure to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to this part of your online learning journey. We're really excited to help support your growth as you become the next leaders in the hospitality industry. So let's get started.
So let's kick things off by talking about a fundamental shift that's happening in our industry right now. For far too long, forecasting has been, let's call it a bit of an art, right? It's relied on these broad, top-down estimates. But think about today the hotels. We're juggling so many different revenue streams, guest behaviors are changing constantly, and that old kind of guesswork, it just doesn't cut it anymore. It's time to move towards something much more powerful: true precision.
And that's exactly where granular forecasting comes into play. So what is it, really? Well, at its core, it's an AI-powered method that takes that single big picture demand forecast and it kind of shatters it into all these highly specific, actionable little predictions. Think of it like this. Instead of getting just one big, blurry number for the whole hotel, you get hundreds of tiny, crystal clear ones. And each of those little numbers tells a crucial part of the story.
And when you put these two methods side by side, wow, the contrast is really stark. The old way, what we call aggregated forecasting, it just leads to imprecision. And what does imprecision create? It creates waste. We're talking wasted food, wasted staff hours, you name it. It forces managers to be constantly reacting, always playing catch-up. But granular forecasting, it completely flips that script. Suddenly, precision drives efficiency, and efficiency, as we all know, is what ultimately makes the entire operation more profitable. Okay, so how do we actually get this precision? Where do we start? Well, the very first step is to recognize a simple truth. A hotel isn't one single business. Not at all. It's actually a collection of many, many unique operations, all living under one roof. So that's our starting point. We're going to start forecasting for each and every individual outlet.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The things that drive demand for your fine dining restaurant are completely different from what drives traffic to your lobby bar, right? Or your banquet department. A reservation for the restaurant has nothing to do with after-work traffic hitting the bar. A single blended forecast just glosses over all these critical nuances. And the result? You end up overstaffed in one area and completely overwhelmed in another. By building separate AI models for each outlet, you can actually capture these very distinct operational realities.
All right, so we've got the where covered. But that's only half the battle. It's not enough to know where the demand is coming from. You also have to know when it's going to hit. This brings us to the next layer of precision: forecasting by Daypart. Because let's be honest, in our industry, timing is literally everything.
Just look at a single restaurant. Guest behavior changes so dramatically throughout the day. The breakfast rush, that's a completely different beast than the business lunch crowd, which is then totally different from the evening dinner service. Each has its own rhythm, its own drivers. This is where AI systems really shine. They capture these subtle variations, which allows you to perfectly align your staffing, your inventory, and all your prep with the specific rhythm of each and every service period. No more guessing. Okay, we've covered outlet and day part. Now let's peel back that final layer of detail: forecasting by sales channel. Think about the modern hospitality landscape. Guests can interact with us in so many different ways now. They're not just walking in the door anymore. So understanding how they buy has become just as important as knowing where and when. And of course, each of these channels has its own unique demand profile. Your dine-in crowd might be driven by reservations and what's happening locally, but your delivery demand, that could absolutely spike during a thunderstorm when nobody wants to go out. If you're not separating these channels in your forecast, you're basically flying blind. Having that channel-level insight, that's what allows you to do targeted planning and meet your customer wherever they happen to be. Okay, so we've taken the forecast and broken it down by outlet, by day part, and by channel. We've got all these super detailed pieces. Now, let's put it all back together and look at the big picture. Let's see the true strategic advantage this gives us. Because this is the moment where precision forecasting stops being just an operational tool and transforms into a powerful profit engine. What this creates is a really clear, logical path to profit.
It all starts with that accurate, granular forecast. That's step one. Because of that accuracy, you can then perfectly align your two biggest costs, labor and inventory. That's the crucial second step. And when those two things are perfectly aligned, well, something amazing happens. You simultaneously reduce waste and improve service. And the final result of all that? Enhanced, and more importantly, sustainable profitability.
And the benefits here go way beyond just daily operations. All this detailed data becomes the foundation for some seriously powerful scenario planning. You can start asking those big, strategic what-if questions, like what would actually happen to our dine-in service if we decided to expand our delivery radius? The AI gives you the power to simulate these kinds of decisions, to see the future, in a way, before you ever have to commit a single dollar of your resources. Now, this technology is incredibly powerful, but, and this is important, it is not magic. For all of you as the future leaders of this industry, your most critical role will be to create the right environment where a tool like this can actually succeed. And it all comes down to one thing: mastering the data. So, to really make this work, you have to build on 4 key pillars. You have to remember, an AI is only as smart as the data you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out, right? This means you as managers have to champion robust and accurate data capture. You need disciplined operational processes and consistent team training. And finally, strong system governance to make sure that data stays clean and the forecasts remain reliable. Look, the technology is an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but it's your leadership that actually makes it effective.
And ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. By truly mastering the details, by forecasting, by outlet, by daypart, and by channel, this is how modern managers gain the incredible precision needed to navigate today's complex operations and, quite simply, drive outstanding results.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. As you move forward in your careers, I want you to look critically at the operations all around you. Ask yourself, where are the blind spots? Which sales channel is still being managed by gut feelings and guesswork instead of real data? Because finding the answer to that question, that's your first step to unlocking incredible new value. And it's how you'll define yourself as a true leader in the next generation of hospitality. Thanks for your time.